Everybody, welcome back to another installment of Ancient Relics and Hokey Religions, brought to you by Rare Drop Roleplay and presented to you, I guess, by J&J Tabletop. Hosted by J&J Tabletop. Thank you very much,
Woo.
Mr. J and Jake.
Yes.
I am.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I love it.
Everybody, it's so nice to see all of you.
Yes.
So nice to see all your lovely names and little like blurbs in chat. And it's so nice to see all your lovely faces right here in front of me. It's been a long time, been like 5 weeks or so, something like that. And I'm excited to do the thing. So before we get into it, this week brought to you by It's Evbo. Jay and Jake. I'm gonna tell you the underscore just so you don't forget it. Jay and Jake. Under him we have Michael, also known as Mr. Yoda _I_am.
Also known as the sexy man.
Also known as the man with the sex appeal. That's Michael brings all the ladies here, and he's just
That's right. That's right.
That's
Hold on, Michael. Can I just it's so hot. It's so hot.
Oh man. If we wouldn't get DMCA'd,
I'm on the hot seat. I'm sitting on his face.
I'm not talking about anyone specific. I just said that you bring all the ladies here.
No, I'm not okay, Nia. I'm not okay.
Man, he's the reason Izzy's here too. It's all of them. All right. Okay, I'm sorry. Speaking of Izzee, playing Melly, we have Israel, who her social is J&J Tabletop. Go to J&J Tabletop, follow J&J Tabletop. What is J&J Tabletop? Me and Jake. Basically, every week we decide to make some videos, talk about some fun things, and mostly D&D. Always D&D. I think it's pretty much always D&D. And we'll talk about how to play the game, some ideas, some crazy encounters and monsters that you could throw into your campaigns and all that kind of fun stuff, and then also how to be a better player. So you heard me say it before, Rare Drop Roleplay. What is Rare Drop Roleplay? Well, you've heard of Rare Drop, probably. If you haven't, then
I mean,
welcome. You're on twitch.tv/raredrop. Rare Drop Roleplay is Rare Drop's delve into the dungeons of tabletop RPGs, and we are the teaching game on Sundays. Tuesdays they have Reckoning Hour hosted by Captain Robert. I don't think they're playing this week. I know they were taking a couple weeks off, but just follow their socials and go to raredrop.co and you'll be able to find out all the schedules and when everyone's doing everything.
Yes.
Socials will be on the screen, so when it doesn't say Halfling Monk, Elf Fighter / Warlock, it's going to say them, like right now. It's going to say the socials. So please check those out. And if you like what we're doing here, drop a follow, go to our YouTube, sub. We'd appreciate it. And you could always check out our link tree. We have a Discord where we talk about all the things, all the fun stuff. And yeah. Everybody, how you doing today? How's everyone doing? I can say, I want to say this. Literally everyone here, your hair looks incredible.
Oh, thank you.
Like, great.
I feel like that's just a way Josh could say his hair looks incredible. Just saying.
I think my hair looks pretty good, but I wasn't talking about me. No, I was going to say something to Izzee before we started. I was like, oh, your hair looks really good. And then I looked at everyone else and I was like, everybody's hair looks kind of great right now. It's like, okay, very nice, very nice.
I'm not going to disagree. Especially mine. I really did a lot of work on it.
Well, you got the...
Oh, yeah, I have some hair.
You got the nice trim. And Evbo's growing his out, which we were talking about earlier.
That's right.
And it's just a cool look.
I like it. I'm into it.
We're all groomed up. It's been a month. It's been a month. Gotta look nice. Gotta look nice for our friends.
Yeah. We missed everybody.
Immensely.
We really did. Yes. Very excited to get back into this. But before we do that, anyone have anything going on that they want to want to shout out? Any projects you're working on? Anything you've been watching that you want to shout out, or anything along those lines? Anybody been doing anything fun on your Sundays?
Just been filled with disappointment. Izzee.
Yeah, yes, Izzee.
I did a fun thing. I went to a ropes course and a zip line place today. It was a lot of fun, but I was a doofus and I fell off and I got this, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a gnarly bruise right there.
Oh man,
Battle scar.
I can't really see the bruise. All I see is you flexing on everybody here.
Oh,
and
yeah. I like it.
that sounds like a lot of fun, minus the gnarly bruise and falling down though. That kind of sucks.
Yeah, well, it's a part of the experience. It makes it, you know, a little bit more adventurous, I think. But yeah, highly recommend going if you guys like that kind of thing. It was super duper fun.
When I think about ziplining, I don't watch a lot of South Park, but one episode I did watch was about ziplining, and I will never not think about that. Anytime I hear someone talking about ziplining, if you know, you know. I'm not going to go in it further than that.
Okay.
Anybody else have anything, or are we, or is that it?
I'm good, I think.
You good?
Yeah.
All right. So as far as new J&J videos, we did a lot.
Yeah,
We've done a lot since the last time we've seen you.
it's true.
Anything specific you want to call out, Jake? I mean, I know there's two that I definitely kind of excited about.
I think one, which I think has been fun, we've been doing a talk show about this show. We did 2 episodes, Ancient Relics and Talkie Religions, named by our friend, Mr. Evan. We had 2 episodes. One Evan couldn't make, and then the other was me and Evan, and we were just talking about just the game in general and, you know, what's going on with our characters, how they've grown since we started, and just fun times and favorite moments and that sort of thing. And so yeah, if you're interested in that, follow us on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube if you want to see those. And I think we would like to do that again sometime. But I think we need to hear from the people about that. We have to hear from the people. We're people of the people? People? The music stopping right there is kind of perfect. I'm just gonna say. Never a dull moment. Josh is muted and he's talking. This is great.
That's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. I was trying to make a people's elbow joke, and I said
rock
Elmo.
solid.
So I was gonna ask everyone to lend Jake an Elmo.
Oh well, yeah, okay.
Oh boy.
What video were you thinking of, Josh?
I was thinking of 2 in particular. If anyone watches D&D YouTube, really, I would be shocked. So shocked that I have to say it in a different voice. I'd be shocked if you didn't know about WebDM. Well, WebDM has a Kickstarter going on called Worlds of WebDM Weird Wastelands. I believe that's it.
Yes.
And it's like a campaign setting with a new subclass for every class except for the one that I hate, Jake.
Artificer.
You know, Artificer. Except for Artificer. And a whole new class, the Scion class. And they have like a whole bunch of rules, monsters, and all that kind of stuff in there. And I'm really excited for it. And Jake's pretty excited for it too. So we made a video about it. And we asked for the help of our friends, you, the people. And you came through. We asked you guys to comment on the video, and everyone commented on that. And our goal was essentially like, hey, it'd be really cool if WebDM saw this because, you know, like we both love WebDM. And they saw it, and they responded to us, and we got super positive feedback from them. And that was just incredible as a tabletop RPG YouTuber. Their videos were some of the videos that helped me learn to play this game to begin with. So getting like a, hey, this is a really cool video from them was like incredible. So thank you all for that. And if you want to check out those videos, links in the doobly-doo. It's going to be on our website or on our YouTube. So we've also done some creature features, right? Did we do both those creature features after? Maybe just the second one.
Sorry, I was looking at something else. We did the Banshee, yeah, and our Monster Mash.
Yeah, Monster Mash was the most recent video. That one was a lot of fun to do. Essentially, creature feature, we talk about a monster, give you details on them, some lore, how we would use them, what makes them special, that kind of thing. Monster Mash is something that we use to... Monster Mash is essentially we take creatures that we have already talked to or talked about, that kind of thing, and then we throw them together if we think they're going to be interesting and have some fun. We throw them together, make an encounter, talk about why they would be a really good mashup, why lore-wise it makes sense or it doesn't make sense, and why the mechanics just work so dang well together. And this week we did Banshee and Will O. Wisp.
Such a nice guy.
Yeah, Will. Yeah, William O. Wisp.
Yep.
It's a wonderful, whimsical Wellington.
Wispy. He's a very wispy man. Oh boy. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I love Will Smith.
It's a great combinations are not just for players in this game. That's all I'll say about that, and that's a good one for a DM.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to see some fun stuff, check out all those videos. You can find them at youtube.com/JNJ Tabletop. And before we get into the reason why all of you are here, Jake, you got a lesson for us today?
We do. So we have done this lesson, probably one of the first lessons we ever did, actually, I would say, because this is one of the most foundational topics in a tabletop role-playing game, and that is player agency. What is that? It's basically when the players at the table can make decisions that matter. It's not just the DM kind of telling a story. Sometimes, like, even the best video games that are open world, usually they're like trigger points. That's kind of the only way something will happen is if you jump through whatever hoops they designed for you. In a player-driven story, the players have agency. They have some control over what happens to them. They have control over the story. They're what drives the action. And the DM is going to create that really by preparing what we would call a sandbox for the players to adventure in. It's not all aboard the railroad. It is, I mean, there's always going to be elements of that because you can never do perfect open world, but the sandbox is the focus for a Dungeon Master's prep. They also create it by not imposing their will on the game or forcing things in a certain direction based on just, I just think this would be better if the players did this. They allow that, and I think a really good example for that would be our encounter in the lava room on the bridge when Josh was like, good lord, I'm going to kill them all today if they do this. I don't know what to do. So that was a moment where we kind of... Yeah, that was a moment where Josh was like, oh crap. One of my fundamental principles of being a DM is player agency, so I don't want to take them. I even think you may have mentioned, like, I don't want to take agency away from you. Of course you can fight now. Something to that effect. But this doesn't mean that everything that the players do will succeed. It just means that they can attempt to try things or look at things or anything like that. So it's not something like, oh, well, the players just decide everything. No, you're still the DM. You're just not driving the story. You're the arbiter of the results of the story and the actions. And the players are going to know that this is there if they know that their choices are not just blocked for the sake of blocking them. They have an element of trust in the DM or GM, depending on what game you may be playing. And it's just really something that you can feel. when you're there. So we have a video about that on youtube.com/J&J Tabletop, and command lesson will be, I have a link to that, which Josh, I think, just popped in chat. Yep. It's one of our first videos where I was like, yeah, this is rock solid. You got to check that one out, especially if you want to take your games to the next level. That's a big one. So, player agency.
Yeah. Very, very good video, if I do say so myself. It's just an important topic. You know?
It is.
It just is.
It is. It is.
It is.
I think the only other thing I would say is, if you're watching this live on Twitch, which the people right now are, clip your favorite moments if you find something fun.
Oh, please clip your favorite moments, people.
Yeah, it's a
Clip
lot of
'em.
fun.
And also,
Clip it.
Jake mentioned a moment last time, not last time, several times ago, of a battle on the bridge. If you're out there and you're an artist and you want to make some fan art, you know, maybe just like, gee, you know, like, I'm
Yes.
just sitting at home with the paintbrush in my hand and I don't know what to do. Well, you should totally paint or art those two halflings
Art it.
on a bridge against
draw
all
it.
odds.
Art it, please.
And if you're
Yeah.
gonna share it with us, tweet it, say, "Oops, I arted again," and then share it. Again with the silence. Okay.
I think the noise gate cut me out, but I said,
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Josh, what do you want for
Well-
the recap? Do you want like dark? What do you want? Uneasy music? You want
recap?
peaceful music? Yeah, you're gonna have to tell us what happened. It's been so long.
Oh, I was gonna say that was such a great lesson. I'm glad
Oh.
we were able to do this again.
Oh.
And everybody, we'll see you next week. This has been hellos and a goodbye
I hate
from
you.
J&J Table.
Actually, it would be kind of funny if I did turn the stream off briefly. Oh boy. Here, maybe this will make
You-
him do something. Hold on.
You wouldn't.
I mean, I could, but no, I wouldn't.
I don't know what you're talking about yet. Okay, there's music. This
Let's
music
go.
demands something. Last time, several weeks ago, on Ancient Relics and Hokey Religions, our adventurers had been through a whole lot. After traveling through the Savalier Wood, getting caught up with a potentially nasty thing and making some deals, getting into Mullesmere, sneaking around through a hidden area connected to a hidden study and laboratory, or laboratory, if you will. Players got into some fights, made an enemy out of the lead investigator, or lead scientist, lead archaeologist, whatever we want to call him, of the Empire's expedition into Mullesmere. Being left for dead, giving up almost all their Mullesmere goodies, except for one purple thing that appears to be very powerful. Our players delved deeper into the ground, into the earth, into the Underdark. They found a maze which they traveled through and fought some nasty, horrible monster in there. They found a weapon which spoke to Mac, and he now carries it. They found a big, nasty Kruthic queen, and they slapped that bitch aside the head, and they won. And realizing that they were going to spend more time in the Underdark than they think they could survive, Vale made another deal with the same baddie, potentially. And he got all of them out of the Underdark. Only issue was, when they rose from the river, it was in the middle of winter, and a few months had gone by. Unsure of where the time went, they continued on and met an old man in the woods, spent some time in his cabin. His name was Owen. They spent a holiday at the cabin. He made some pretty nice weapons for them. And they continued on their way to Bice's Teal. Well, they ran into Vale's brother and another glass blade and decided that maybe they should head to Uthadurn. It might be a quicker journey. So they went to Uthadurn. They met Vale's parents, spent the night there. And the next day, after a journey through finding some pickles and also talking to a very interesting pinto bean man, they found out that the city was on lockdown. No one is allowed in, no one is allowed out, and all teleportation circles have been blocked off. On hearing this news, Vale and most of the group went to head directly back to his family's home in hopes of finding his brother parent. Echo, on the other hand, went over to a nearby temple for Ioun, the knowing mentor. We haven't figured out what happened with Echo yet. We'll get there. But on the way back to Vale's family's home, he ran into his brother. And his brother let him know everything that was going on. His brother Carrick, not his father Perrin. Carrick let him know that everything that he had heard before was true. The city was on lockdown, and he needed to go report everything that happened the night before. After a very sincere moment together, Carrick decided to leave out the fact that his brother and Melly and Mac and Echo were the group of individuals that they ran into in the woods. Before he left, he was given one of the stones, the sending stones. He went on his way, wished his brother and friends luck. And Melly, Mac, and Vale continued on to the home of his family. That brings us to right now. So, while your whole conversation was happening, Echo was off doing his own thing, wasn't he?
That he was.
That he was. So, why don't we go follow Echo before we catch up with the rest? Echo, you before you went on your way and decided to go to the Temple of Ioun, you ran into some bodybuilders and gave one of them the task of delivering a pinto bean, a very large pinto bean, the biggest one that you could afford, actually, over to the temple, right? I mean, you did choose the Temple of Ioun to bring it to, correct?
Yes.
So I'll say it's going to be pretty dang easy for you to find that temple, because all you have to do is just follow the grunts of the strong man, strong dwarf.
Yes, I think I remember, as I recall, I had asked someone nearby if there was a temple, that might be able to use this food. And I think it was either him or one other person nearby that said, yes, there's actually a temple to Ayun right up at the top of the hill. Which I think you mentioned was maybe half a mile away, something like that.
Yes.
The specifics, obviously, I don't remember, but it was something like that. So yeah, I think you would either be following. Yeah, he would probably follow the guy at this point.
And you already paid him too.
Yes, I paid him ahead of time. Because he would be so embarrassed after failing that he would have to walk all the way down, and that would be so funny to me. I believe that was the line I gave him. Yeah, so I'll be
Perhaps I should make some strength checks for him then, since you're going to be following him.
Oh no. Yeah, I guess I guess how far did he get ahead of me before I started following him? I know we weren't like standing there for terribly long, but
he was probably like, I'd say at least like 100 feet ahead of you, if not a little more than that, maybe 150 feet, something like that. Because you sent him off, you guys started walking, then you found out and you had a little conversation. So like, he's definitely got some distance, but you could still see him though.
Okay. Yeah, so that's fine. I'll follow him, but not in a way that's like, hey buddy, how's the bean moving going? I'm just sort of like walking behind him.
Do we all right. We won't deal with the strength checks for him. He's strong enough. He'll take his time. Figured that'll probably be more of an annoyance than anything else. So it takes a little bit. Traveling half a mile with the pinto bean, not exactly an easy task. But he was up for the challenge. So after several minutes of walking and just following this man who's just like, with every step, by the time he gets towards the end, he actually, when he finally gets there, you see this one building. There's a large staircase heading up towards it, and it kind of like it's a staircase that's bigger on the bottom, and it just kind of goes up into a door, 2 pillars on the outside, nice stone that it's made out of, and you see a carving of 3 eyes right over the door. Eyes just kind of, 2 and then another one. And when our strong man gets there, he feels completely fine, and he just kind of flexes really quick. Very proud of himself, kind of rolls his shoulders over, and then just you see him kind of turn around, pick up the coin, flip the coin up in the air, catch it, bites down on it. He's proud of himself, and he's just like, he's just kind of pumping himself up as he's walking back down. He did not go inside and say anything about the pinto bean. He just dropped it off at the doorstep. And
he did as instructed, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Echo, the floor is yours.
All right. Yeah, I think if he's walking past me, I would probably just say something like, well done, good sir. You've certainly shown me.
I could do that in my sleep.
Lift a lot of beans in your sleep.
I can't say I lift a lot of beans, but it's never a bad time for a pump.
Okay. Well, goodbye.
If you want to lose any more coin, just let me know. You know where to find me.
Oh, I certainly will. I'll be winning that back.
Bet chance. He's just continuing on. He yells that over his shoulder.
So this big bean is at the bottom of the staircase leading up into the temple now.
Yeah, it's like right in front of the temple.
All right. Well, I'm not even going to try to lift that with my 9 strength or 8 strength or whatever it is. 9. So yeah, I think at this point Echo would just, turn, kind of straighten his clothing out a little bit, and then look up at the temple and see the symbol and just have a nice moment of like familiarity again. Get a little smile on his face and walk up the stairs, I should say, to the temple. And if there's a door, I guess, probably just walk right in.
Yeah, you're able to do so, and when you walk in, you see a circular room with pillars lining the walls, lining kind of the middle. So it's circular, is like the main portion of it, right? There's pillars all over the circle, and a giant, large fountain flowing with water in the middle. There are some kind of like you could tell that there's also some areas off to the left, off to the right as well. But this would be the focal point. And
Okay.
on top of this fountain, there is a statue of an older, kind of mature looking woman, with a welcoming matronly smile, and could tell that she's swathed in billowing robes and scarves that fan into books and scrolls. And you would know this to be a depiction of Ioun.
Okay. Is there anyone else? Is there anyone in this immediate area?
Yeah, as you kind of like look around and you look off to the right, you see a woman, looks to be older, of elven descent, a little bit taller than you, a lot of bit taller than you. And
I hope she's a lot taller than you.
And she's got long hair, and she's kind of just like, she's got her hand in the fountain. Doesn't really make any note of you at all. Hasn't said anything about you walking in.
Is she wearing like typical vestments? Like would I would recognize her as a member of the order, so to speak.
You would recognize her as a servant of Ioun.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think walking in, I would say the first thing Echo would be a little surprised. The temple in Byseus Teal it's nice, but this seems like a little more extravagant. Like I think he makes a particular note of how nice the fountain and the statue on the fountain are. It's like a little surprised, but in a very pleasant way. It's just like, oh, they really. It's like it's nice to see this being taken as seriously as he takes it. So, I think he would almost like riding a bike, kind of snap into the very proper way of walking. Kind of straighten up his posture a bit. There we go. Hey, bud.
Hey.
Yeah, so Echo, I think, would straighten up his posture a bit and make his way over to the woman by the fountain and just very softly, I think very softly just try to get her attention. And he would say something along the lines of, oh gosh, you know what? I don't know if there's a... This is probably a thing I should know, and I apologize that I don't know this offhand. Would there be a typical greeting for, those who serve under Ioun?
There could be. I think the big question is the greeting that they say in your area in Bais Estiel the same as what they say here?
Okay, that's a fair point.
Really quick, I need to disconnect and reconnect. Something happened with my my AMD driver, whatever. So I can't see any of you. So just hold on 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Sorry.
It'll be okay. It'll be okay, I promise.
Yeah, everything's... Hold on. We're good.
Yeah, as long as you can see Evan, it'll be just fine.
It's me, Izzee. How you guys doing today?
It's me.
Happy to be here.
Josh is back. Now Michael's the DM.
Hey,
How it goes.
to be alive.
What a time to be alive.
Man, that would scare me.
So after that greeting,
Yes. Maybe he just picks it up like seamlessly. Just.
Oh my god.
Technically, Michael, you're also me. You're the only one in that frame.
It would be kind of exciting to be a fly on the wall and just be able to
Like, what would happen?
see that happen. Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Sorry about that, everyone. So the greeting. You have anything in mind? You want me to remind you of the commandments of Ioun?
If you could, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I would appreciate that.
So the commandments of Ioun are to unmask those who would destroy Ioun, learn their secrets, and unveil them to the world. To uphold and teach the importance of reason, perception, and truth in guiding one's emotion and path. To condemn those who lie without moral cause, for evil folk gain power when their followers obscure the truth. Never stoop to the levels of selfish liars.
Okay. I think with that in mind, I think that the greeting that Echo and his compatriots would have had, at least in Bais Estiel, he will put his fist into one palm and bow as he says, "Reason above all." In Elvish.
Very nice. She will turn around to you, and you see that she has kind of like an older looking face, probably definitely one of the older elves that you've met thus far, and but there's still like a something welcoming and just nice about her. One thing is very off-putting is that her eyes are where her eyes would be. They are just scarred. It would not be very hard to guess that she might be blind or at least hard of seeing. But she turns to you and looks exactly right at you and just says, what was it? Knowledge above all?
Reason above all.
Excuse me. Reason above all. And she matches the the gesture. She'll say to you, "What brings you here?"
Good
Never
day,
seen you in
sister.
this temple before.
Yes. I'm sorry and excited to say that it is my first time to this temple. My name is Brother Echo from the temple in Baisei's Teal. And, well, it's my pleasure to see this place. It is, it's stunning. I do come bearing a gift of sorts, a rather large food donation.
A food donation.
Yes, I don't know if this is typical, but over in Baisei's Teal, we would be sure to, assist those in need and, of course, feed our own. But whatever the use may be for, we have a rather large, a rather large pinto bean, the largest I could afford.
Oh my. Typically, food donations, you may put them at the feet of the knowing mentor and drop them in front of the fountain. And we thank you for your generosity. Might I get your name, my halfling friend?
Yes, of course. As I said, I am Brother Echo. And may I have yours, sister?
Sister Norwella. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Sister Norwella. A pleasure.
Did you come here only for the gift of food, or did you require something else?
Well, as you've asked, I was actually curious. This may seem a strange request. I've been traveling for quite some time, and to be honest, the travel is wearing on me and my compatriots quite a bit. And I'm trying to make my way back to Baisei's Teal. I was curious if you knew. I know it's not exactly common for those of our faith to have a teleportation circle, but I know some of the temples do. Is it possible that you have one available that I may be able to use to travel back to my home?
Unfortunately, we do not have access to such things. And as I've heard, the use of them has been restricted for now. There are visitors in town from the dynasty.
I'm sorry. Did you say travel is locked down at the moment?
Yes, brother. Travel has been restricted for the time being for safety reasons due to the arrival of representatives from the Kryn dynasty.
Well, that's odd, isn't it? I thought that, I was under the impression that those in Uthadern tended to keep in their own affairs. I'm surprised to hear that you were welcoming of those from the Kryn dynasty.
The diarchy of Uthadern does favor isolation. But it is also a very welcoming place.
That's fair. It has been welcoming to myself, if nothing else. And I do apologize for the many questions, sister. As you know, knowledge, can't get enough of it.
Brother, you are never in need to apologize for asking questions in the Temple of the Knowing Mentor.
Yes, it has been... It's been a difficult road, and it's nice to see you. It's nice to see this, to be a part of this again, if only for a brief time. Well, in any case, is there a possibility, are there any other brothers or sisters that may be able to help bring the donation inside?
Of course. How large is this bean?
As I said, the biggest I could afford. The size of I believe roughly the size of a small carriage.
Oh my. That is a very large bean.
Yes.
I will have some other... Yes, we will make arrangements to bring that to our banks. Better we don't bring that into the main hall.
Yes,
Thank you
of
for
course.
your generosity, Brother Echo.
My pleasure, Sister Norwella. Not to be too much trouble, but if, I'm not sure that me and my compatriots will be able to find... Is it possible that we could trouble you for maybe a room for a night? If you have an open space?
Of course. You and your friends are welcome to stay here as long as you need. It is a modest accommodation, but we would never turn away a child of the Knowing Mistress.
You have my sincere thanks, sister.
You're quite welcome. Are you thirsty?
Now that you mention it, yes, a bit.
Please, give me a drink from the fountain.
Is this something that Echo would be familiar with? You know, a fountain in like the foyer of a temple like this.
That's it's definitely not the same as your setup.
It's
there,
definitely
like
not.
You said. Yeah. But it this comes in all shapes and forms, especially in different societies, and in a dwarven society for sure. You know, they appreciate craftsmanship and showmanship and that kind of thing. So it's different, but it's not like off-putting, you know? It's just kind of like, oh, okay. Some
Of
people
course,
do it that way.
I think more where my head was at is like, is this like a custom in the Church of Iron? It's like you enter and you take a drink from, you know, almost like in let's say a Catholic church where you do the holy water, that kind of a thing. But like
Not
you go into a
necessarily
Temple of
custom.
Iron and you take a drink from the fountain or something. I was just curious. I like the world building, so I want to.
You know that it's symbolic of like a fountain of knowledge and a thirst for understanding and that kind of thing. And it's not uncommon to like take a drink with people, with fellow followers as a as kind of a representation of such, from a fountain you've never heard of before. But the concept of sharing a beverage in the name of Ioun it's not that foreign.
Okay. Yeah, so Echo would absolutely he would walk up and take a drink from the fountain.
You feel immediately refreshed, and almost have like a moment of like peace, and where I'm sure Echo is very stressed about. Oh hey, I guess we're stuck here. You have a moment of just otherworldly calm and just like it's gonna be all right. And also, you are what I consider too blessed to be stressed, and your next D20 that you roll, you could add a D4 to. You have a D4 inspiration die, essentially.
Okay. For my next D20.
You could use it whenever you like. We'll say that.
Okay. Fantastic. All right, I'm just going to make a note of that. Thank you, sister. With that, I hate to drop off of Bean and run, but I should probably get back to my compatriots and let them know the good news about your much appreciated hospitality.
Of course. If you need anything else, if there's any other way that we may serve you, you know where to find us. And the room will always be open for you, brother.
Thank you, sister.
And she gives you kind of like a warm smirk, and
Yeah, I think Echo's feeling the stress and bless meters are fighting violently. It's like he really does feel like that was something that he really needed, I think. But at the same time, literally just alarm bells, you know. Like, cool. Yeah, no, everything's shut down. No, great. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
But at least, you know, if we might need to hide out somewhere for a short time, you know, at least we've got some good folks on our side, theoretically.
Yeah. When I say the moment of calm and the moment of peace like that, doesn't take away the reality of the situation. It's more like just a quick like hug, you know?
Yeah. Oh no, I totally understand.
Yeah.
It's there's definitely an interesting back and forth on that. So I think he would do the same slow, you know, the slow, quiet walk, you know, that really smooth kind of monk walk where you don't even really hear the footsteps because it's just very, very flowing. So he walks his way out, opens the door, shuts the door, and then does like a power walk, sort of like half jog, almost going into a run to try to get back to where everybody else is. Maybe getting a little sweaty about it. Just kind of like, oh gods. But not expressing any of that out loud.
Yeah.
Just having a bit of a mild panic attack.
Lovely.
Look, Izzee just nailed it. She just, in our little group chat, said, looking like a kid not running by the pool.
That's great.
That's awesome.
That's exactly right. Yes, that's it.
Man.
That's what Echo's doing.
That's incredible.
And I believe if I remember right, if memory serves, we had agreed to meet at Vale's parents' house.
Yes.
So that is where Echo will go.
Yeah. So as we have our child not running by the pool, and we see Echo panicked, fast walking down the streets of Uthadern, our drone camera pops. Oh, I forgot the whistle never comes through on Discord. Pops up and then zooms back down into our party of 3: Mac, Melly, and Vale. You just finished your conversation with Carrick, And I don't think I let you talk about what was next, but the plan was to go back to Vale's house, but I'll leave that back to you all.
All right, so Carrick just leaves. I like to think that Melly and Mac are behind Vale after that conversation, and he just turns and looks. What does he see when he looks at the two of you?
If you need a reminder of the conversation, it was essentially, yeah, you're stuck here. I'm trying to figure out a plan. And then Vale was like, hey, I really need you here. And he was like, okay, I'm going to do you a solid, but I need to talk to Teddy first and make sure we get our stories straight. I'll talk to you as soon as possible. And then he left.
I would say that you kind of see that Mac's jaw is just set a little bit, and there's just a little bit of fire burning in his eyes. Like, not that it's like anger necessarily, but just pure intensity behind it. Just like, and you can tell that he's on edge because of the situation seemingly going south. In his head, anyway.
Yeah. How about with Melly?
She definitely looked like visibly nervous and uncomfortable, and is like, she hasn't like tried to make eye contact with Mac because he's voiced so many times like, this isn't a good idea. So like, she's not directly looking at him, but she is paying attention to him from like the corner of her eye. She's gonna look for, you know, anything that he does to try and be more stealthy, Melly is going to also try to do. So if he puts his hood up, she's putting her hood up. If he like starts walking like in a certain way, like one foot after the next, that's what she's gonna do.
All right. So, Vale, there's a moment where Vale is looking at each of you, and he has, it looks as if he was about to say something, but when he sees you, he stops for a very brief moment. He just says, Echo knows to meet us at my parents' house. Let's do that. And as soon as he gets there, we're going to figure this out. I know this is not exactly what we were looking for, or what we hoped would happen when we got here, but I still do not believe there's any immediate threat to us.
I definitely think that us getting together, all of us, is priority, and then getting out of here as quickly as we can. I really wish that Echo was with us right now.
I do too. Val just puts his right arm on Melly's shoulder, looks her in the eye, and just says, "It's going to be okay, I promise." He has like a little... You've seen him smirk before, and you could tell it's maybe slightly forced, but you still see, like, he does believe what he just said. He gives a little pat. He's like, "Come on." And
does he actually believe it? I want to. I
want to roll an insight check.
Yes. That's a 3.
Just for
so
fun.
what are you putting off?
Just for fun. He's putting on a confident way about him. He does not look... He looks like someone who's still confident, like, say, you're a hockey team, you got a 3-1 lead going into the third period, and someone just scored or tied it up, but we're still gonna win this game. Is the look he has.
Well, I would agree on both of those accounts, Melly. I do think that we need to regroup and have us together, and then look into what our next step is to get out of here.
I feel like that. Well, whatever conversation that we need to have, we should probably have it in a more discreet place. I don't want to draw too much attention to ourselves, so I don't know if we should really rush, but let's get a move on.
I agree. It's best not to stand out in a crowd.
Is there, like, I would say, and if anyone else, I would say, I don't know how busy this area is. I would just go with the flow of traffic. It wouldn't actually go any faster or anything. It would be more of like a parent walking across, alongside the pool, not the child.
Yep, I'm with Mac on that one.
Just kind of trying to keep a low profile and just blending in with the crowd as we go.
Okay. Is there anything specific that you're doing that you think Melly might pick up on?
I mean, one of the things I probably would do is trying to stay close to people, not close enough where they would be like, wait, why is this person walking right next to me? But close enough to where, you wouldn't stand out or separate yourself from the crowd and you're still a part of the crowd, and not trying to really bump into people again. Just trying not to do anything to draw any notice or to make any eyes actually glance at us.
Okay. So, you continue on to Vale's parents' house. After you really weren't that far away, but maybe like 7 minutes or so, something like that, from where you're at now, you arrive at the doorstep. Their little front
We
porch.
get closer to the house, but I would think, I don't know exactly how it is. Is there any time where it would kind of crowds lighten up? Again, I don't know exactly where they live, to where if it's kind of one of those things that we would just kind of exit the crowd and be at their front door, or if they have a long, I don't say driveway, but path up to their house.
It's not super crowded. There are pockets of people walking here and there. It's more Main Street crowds rather than city street crowds, if you will, in this particular area at this time of day. But
if it looked like there was a moment to where there wasn't as much people around, I would just kind of turn and ask Vale, would your parents ever host dignitaries?
I'm just gonna check with Josh on that one. I don't,
because I have no
necessarily-
clue what
Yeah.
what level or where your parents are in the city or what they do.
I wouldn't think so, but unless Josh had a different idea.
it would not be their job to do so, no.
They'll just shakes his head. No, that would be very strange.
Okay.
They also just, it's not a common thing either in Uthadern for,
Yeah. He says
diplomats or anyone.
Not that we get many visitors of that level. But no, they've done all right for themselves, but it'd be a lot more. It'd be a lot better choices. The-
Okay, and I just kind of nod, and we continue up to the house.
Does everything look normal?
Everything appears to look normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Val,
Pretty much
just
how you left it.
open the front door. Just walk in.
Yeah, you're able to do that, and as you walk in, if you continue on to the kitchen, you would find your mother just kind of fooling around, drinking some tea, and she'll just say, "Ah, you've returned."
I have. And he takes the basket. So remember, I think you said 1 gold would be impressive. I spent 2 on this thing.
Okay.
Replaced the wine. Multiple jars of pickles, a little charcuterie platter. Wrapped up. Yes, we had great success. He puts this on the counter.
She'll just say, "Oh my, Valenthinius, this is incredible. You didn't have to do this."
It's the least I could do. Everybody noticed his cheeks reddened slightly at the full use of his name.
She'll kind of look at all of you, make a quick eye contact with all of you, and then look at Vale and just say, "Well, this was very kind of you, and we greatly appreciate it. It's good to have you back. It's good to meet all of you. Did you enjoy your walk into the city?"
Enjoy is a
It's the
strong word.
most amazing city I've ever seen.
Is that a lie?
Yes.
Can you roll a deception check?
Was it
She
sarcastic?
thinking? No. I said it extremely genuinely.
Okay.
Even if it is a lie. 17.
Okay. Yeah, she's just like, well, I'm very glad you're enjoying your time here. How long will you be staying?
Bill scratches his head and fiddles with some loose hair, puts it behind his ear. Well, we ran into Carrick along the way, and that is not exactly something we know. Apparently, there are dignitaries from the dynasty to here, and the whole city is on lockdown.
As you're saying this, you hear footsteps coming in from behind you. And your father, Perrin, steps in and just says, "The whole city's on lockdown, huh? Already? Not even 24 hours here? What trouble did you get in?"
Al smiles, but just on the one side of his mouth. This one wasn't me, Father. I don't know exactly what's going on. I suppose the war is going maybe poorly for the dynasty. My best guess.
Well, that's none of our business. I'm sure they'll be gone soon.
Yes, it would be very strange if we were to enter into that affair. I think Vale's eyes are just lingering on his dad there for a little longer, like seeing if he can catch anything. I know he's got his background feature to see if he's hiding something.
No, he's not hiding anything there. He actually, I mean, you could tell like kind of some approval actually of what you just said, where he's like, yeah, like you're right. We do have no business getting into that war. It would be very strange of us to enter into that conflict. and he'll just kind of look to all of you and be like, well, you were up early this morning.
He smiles and says, yes, well, we had some wine and a jar of your pickles last night because we were hungry, so I figured I would. He just gestures over to the basket. Wanted to say thank you.
He'll have a smile for a second, and then he kind of just goes back to just a regular, no facial expression, just kind of nods his head and say, I appreciate you replacing my pickles, but you don't owe us all this for staying here a night.
Perhaps not, but I did it nonetheless.
Well, thank you. What is it you're doing here in town anyway?
We're actually on our way to Bysaeus Teal, but we ran into Carrick out in the Savalier Wood, and he suggested perhaps we use teleportation circle rather than heading there straight away. But with the lockdown, that plan is not exactly going well.
Here I was thinking you were back because you finally came to your senses.
Maybe I did that too, but I still was headed to Bysaeus Teal when he smiles.
He'll just kind of nod his head, like, all right,
Yeah.
whatever, and
Yeah, I bet you there's an uncomfortable silence just for a moment. Like
You can kind of see Mac is biting his tongue just a little bit.
there's just kind of an awkward silence for a second, and then your mother kind of, she'll chime in and just be like, well, we're happy that you came to visit. I think what your father is trying to say is he maybe thought seeing you here with Carrick that you had come back to continue your journey into the glass blades and work with your brother.
Oh, well. It's not exactly on the agenda. You know me, always the freelancer. Anyways, he just turns to Melly and Mac. Would either of you like some refreshment?
Dad eats a pickle.
I'm
Yes.
quite all right, but I think I'm gonna wait on the porch for Echo. Just keep an eye out for him.
Yes, I think Vale just looks at Mac briefly, then looks at his mom and dad. And says, I think I'll join you. He looks back at Mac, eyes open just a little bit wider.
Your father is now sitting down in like a very nice like leather sofa chair, with a leather-bound book in one hand and a pickle in the other. She's just kind of like crunching on it as he's reading through the pages of this book.
I love this scene so much. It's just filled with such detail. So yeah, Val's gonna just follow Melly.
I just kind of nod as I start following. I just kind of like throw a nod and then walk out with them.
As you guys walk out, you see a halfling at this point, probably like you know, like starting to lose his breath a little bit, as he kind of tries to fly casually back to the house, and it's clearly Echo.
Yeah, I'll say if Echo sees them on the porch,
Val's smiling, by the way. Just seeing you, he's just got a grin.
as he's coming back, he's like you said, he's trying to fly casually, so he's doing like a speed walk kind of thing, like trying to look as cash as possible, but not necessarily succeeding at that. And he's got his eyes like really wide open, and like every so often he'll like look, you know, like he's doing a terrible job. But as he's getting closer, he'll like look and eyes wide open, just really quick, like put a finger up to his, just like a shh, but without actually like saying anything, without making the noise, just like signaling like shh, shut up. And he'll try to approach as quickly, you know, he'll approach you guys. And he'll just, yeah, I think he'll just, as he'll approach, he'll get up close to everybody and then whisper to the group, like try to force a huddle. And just kind of be like, no, I don't think it would be a huddle. I think he would walk and then stand like next to somebody but facing the same direction, as though like, oh, you know, we're just both standing here.
Yes.
And I think it would be Melly, and he would just be like, the whole city is on lockdown. Apparently there are dignitaries from the dynasty, and the whole city is on lockdown. No one can get in or out.
Val just smiles back at him and just nods a little bit.
Melly's gonna answer in the same volume as Echo. Yes, we heard from Val's brother about the news. We didn't know how to get in touch with you, so we decided to come back here to wait. I'm sorry that we didn't get to be the ones to tell you the news. That must have been very exasperating. Exasperating. Sorry, guys.
Mostly I just kind of feel like an idiot now.
Oh no, it's okay. I'm panicking a little bit, so it's okay. You look
I think I'm gonna stop whispering now.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Okay, well, at least you all are aware of what's happening. I guess that makes me feel a little better about this, but I'll say in good news, the servants over at the temple, we have a place of shelter if needed. I don't know. Well, to be honest, Vale, if you don't feel comfortable potentially putting your family in danger, at least we have another option.
Well, it's always good to have options.
I have to say this is a bit of a surprise, but again, I'm mostly just glad that I got back here and you're all here and not arrested or dead. So, where do we go from here?
Well, we ran into my brother, and I know you might find this difficult to believe, he's very hard on himself for saying he could get us out of here and not being able to perform that, at least as of yet. So he is actively trying to find a way to get us out of here. and has promised to leave our names out of any official records.
Really?
He has.
That's bold, a little stupid, but it's a very respectable thing that he's decided to do. I hope it
good man.
doesn't cause him any harm.
I told him if he absolutely has to give a name, to only give mine. And I also gave him one of the sending stones. Whether or not that's
Oh.
a temporary arrangement, I couldn't tell you. But at least he could contact us without finding us right now.
Yes,
If he
and
does manage
vice
to find a way
versa.
out. It's, I thought, should things escalate, it seemed like a wise contact to have.
How late in the day is it?
It's like, I mean, it's still in the morning.
Okay.
At this
so
point,
still
you
really
could
early.
you could call it like 11, 11:30, something like that.
Hard to
Probably
tell
closer
with
to 11.
no sun out.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say that we should probably give him maybe till mid-afternoon to see if he has some sort of a plan or idea. And if not, we should probably start looking into where these teleportation circles are and who we may be able to coerce to use one.
I have a couple questions. Would Vale have any idea, having grown up here?
You know, there's one in the headquarters of the glass plates.
Mm-hmm.
You would assume that there's one in the Capitol building.
Mm-hmm. Probably
Aside
the
from
only two.
Yeah, aside from that, you don't know of any.
Oh, those are the only two.
That I know of. But
Because I would prefer to not do the glass blades one, because if things get messy, I know that could cause some issues with your family.
Well, not to say that we're not in a rush. Why are we in a rush?
We have a nuke in the backpack. We have Melly that's having side effects of it every day or so. We don't know if possibly anyone is after us, and the longer we're here, the longer, the easier it is that people may know that we are alive.
It'd be hard for me to imagine anyone would be after us, at least yet. I think. But Vale just looks over at Echo and says, "Do you think the monks at the temple would be useful in learning about what's going on with Melly?"
It's hard to say. I know they would be able to help me with certain things, and sharing knowledge is one of our tenets. So I think it's at least worth a try. The one servant who I met, Sister Norwella, she was very kind. I got a very good feeling from being there. I'm not sure if it's just my own nostalgia or I felt a real connection. I have a good feeling. I think, like I said, it's at least worth a try.
Well, I mean, he does have a way to contact us, so if we wanted to investigate things now, I don't see why we could not.
Would they have any allegiances to Uthadern?
So Mr. DM, I believe that would kind of, if I understand the tenets of this religion specifically, that would go pretty hard against what they believe in. To have an allegiance to a country of any kind, at least at its core. That's not to say that, that's not a downfall of organizations in general, but if they really mean what they say, they should not really have an allegiance to the place where they are. Is
Yes.
that a pretty safe assumption?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
They're not against the place where they are.
Mhm.
You being from Baise Steel, which is under the Empire, it's an outlawed religion there. So yours, and this is also probably part of the reason why your temple is a little less extravagant, is you're kind of actively in opposition of the government. Whereas here, it's kind of you do your thing, I'll do mine. There's no reason why either of us should have any trouble with each other.
Okay. Makes sense.
Especially, they're helping the community with food banks, which is now filled with beans, or bean rather.
It's filled with bean.
One large bean.
Okay. Do they have any allegiances to... no. Well, not really for or against.
Then lead the way.
All right.
I know the plan is to use a teleportation circle, but it might be worth also looking into how to just get out of here. I know it would be a really long journey, but staying outside of the city might also be a safer option. I'm not sure, but I don't know how wise it is to stay here very long.
How long of a physical journey would it be if we got even good circumstances by, say, booking passage on a ship to get to Baise Steel from here? We're talking
Weeks.
Yeah.
At least a couple weeks.
Yeah. It would be quite a trip. I think perhaps we should wait for a word from my brother, and then if he seems hopeful, we could pursue that. Lay low until then. At least I think so. And if he doesn't seem hopeful, we could try our luck with something else. It seems to make sense to me.
There's one other question that I didn't think about when we came here. How common are halflings here?
Not super common. Give me 1 second. I believe they have I want to say Wildmount has a percentages thing.
Oh, they might. A good call.
They're definitely not common, but herd.
%4 other races, I think, is what it would qualify as.
Yes, exactly. 4% other races.
Yeah, 56% dwarves, 36% elves, 4% gnomes, and then 4% other.
Yeah, so halflings not super common. They're spread out in that 4% of, orcs, Goliaths, humans.
And how short are gnomes?
Right around the same size as the halfling, I believe.
Okay.
At least close.
Yeah.
So we kind of stick out then as a group because we have 2 halflings? Maybe? Maybe not?
With my hood up, I don't know if I might be able to pass as a gnome.
Let's see. Gnomes are
Gnomes
between
are actually
3 and
bigger.
4 feet.
Yeah, gnomes are actually bigger than halflings.
Well, if you're looking for a disguise, we could pretend to be a family.
Can I use my disguise kit and make me and Echo look like kids?
Absolutely.
Are we wearing like the sailors' uniforms? You know, big lollipops.
Yes.
Is this necessary? No, but this is what D&D is about.
Oh my god.
Exactly.
Got the little rainbow caps with the little spinner on the
Little
top.
propeller.
Oh boy, a beanie. Yeah.
I was about to say Echo would probably say something like,
I hate that that's a good idea.
You don't have to call me father. You can call me pop or dad if you want.
I will do nothing of the sort.
Or perhaps you prefer Daddy Mac.
I have to go.
And Mac right now is contemplating killing someone so he can just never mind. Anyway.
Oh man. So is that what you're doing?
Yes.
All right. What did I have you roll last time? The disguise kit.
I think I rolled sleight of hand because I was trying to like sew and like do stuff like that to her cloak, and it kind of made sense. But
So what do you think would make sense this time? I think is a better question.
honestly, and all the skills, I really don't. I don't even know.
So
Like-
give me one second.
Stealth, because you're just trying to hide them big old halfling feet.
That is fair.
I'm enjoying this too much.
As part of a long rest, you curious guys takes you 1 minute.
Taking out like the makeup kit and like contouring the feet so the light hits it just the right way.
Exactly.
Exactly. Contour.
Okay. So you could roll either deception, persuasion, or performance with proficiency. If I'm assuming you already have proficiency in at least one of those, but
I would probably say deception would probably make the most sense.
Someone tries to help him, will that give him an advantage?
sure.
I was thinking that too.
How do you help?
Like as he goes, like I'm gonna like step back and like be like, okay, like yeah, that looks good. Or be like, oh, like that feature looks a little weird. And like kind of just give him like a second perspective and like change where I'm standing each time to make sure it makes sense from each angle and everything.
Okay, sure thing. What you got?
15.
15 is exactly what you needed. What did you do to make you both look like children? What does it look like now?
Little sailor outfits. Come on, do it.
Oh man. I mean, honestly, I would probably say that I would have to do some sort of like I would probably have to do some, I don't know about prosthetics, but I would probably have to do makeup on both of our faces to make it to where we look a little bit more human and younger. Or I guess actually half elvish is what I would go for. Because, they're the so maybe, I give, a little bit of the pointy ears. Again, just maybe try to slender the face some with some contouring. Again, reduce some age.
Give Mac a facelift.
Exactly. You know, we have shoes on, so hopefully cover our feet. And
inject yourself with some troll blood for Botox, right?
I would say
that's
that
a
we would
thing.
probably
Oh, that's a thing.
both. I mean, well, does Echo doesn't use armor, does he? Or do you?
No.
Okay, so I would remove my armor and put that away, and then I would only just keep like 2 daggers on me. And
Does Echo
go
shave?
with
Well, that's gosh. He might have to. If we're really trying to sell it, then yeah.
You could also. You would probably have a fake beard in your disguise kit. You would probably have a mask in your disguise kit as well. All of those are options.
I mean, I guess we could give you a mask if you'd rather not shave your beard. That's up to you.
I mean, it's just the mutton chops.
You gonna commit?
I think he would, understanding the seriousness of the situation. As much as he hates that he's being dressed up as a child, he understands it. So,
oh man.
yeah.
So I'm imagining, like, you've probably gone back into someone's room at this point to do all this. You're in Vale's old room, getting everything set up, and Vale and Melly are like sitting down on the bed waiting or whatever, and then Mac's like, all right, what do you think? And he brings in Echo, and Echo like looks the part, aside from the fact that he has these big ass mutton chops.
Yes.
I just can't hide those.
I mean, I actually don't know if this is that important of a thing, but if you're really trying to sell it, I'm sorry, Echo. Just stick out like 2 sore thumbs, one on each side of your face.
Yes, I understand. All right. I'll be right back.
He'll step away and see what he can do.
Get a big baby bonnet, cover that. Cover the beard. Get a baby Echo.
As Echo steps away to go clean himself up, we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back. In case you forgot, if anyone has any questions about anything, drop those questions right over there in the chat box. Just throw them in there, and we'll answer them as soon as we return. So we'll see y'all in a little bit. So into the room walks Echo without his iconic mutton chops.
Vale just like leans in a little bit, kind of like. How old did you say you were again, Echo?
Okay, but it's all right.
You look good, friend.
Yeah, we'll... let's just go.
They have like the sailor caps too.
So I'm actually gonna ask Burrell this. If she has any of Carrick's and Vale's old clothes / cloaks.
There you go.
From when they were kids.
She will say, yes, I believe I do. In Valentinius's room, there is a chest at the bottom of the closet, and if you go inside there, there's some of them in storage. Why do it? Never mind. Feel free to
Styles won't have changed much, I'm sure. It's back in style now. What can we say?
Playing a little game to see if Carrick will recognize us.
People, you guys are walking by in the city. Great. Another hipster family.
Oh boy. Yeah, so I guess if we find anything that looks like it's matching.
And appropriately sized.
Yes.
Yeah, you find I mean,
From when Vale was 8. Maybe 6.
yes. So you find like these long white socks and and like blue shorts and a little blue shirt and a little blue jacket, and there are these white stripes like trim on there, and then you also find 2 white hats as well.
I go for it.
All right.
When you commit to something, you really commit. I'm impressed.
Are we certain that this isn't going to draw more attention than deter?
Even if it does, it will be misinformation.
Now that Echo has shaved. Wait, we don't want to do that. Never mind.
Think of it this way.
I just
People
mean
may
that.
think they may find different if they might look at us, but they would think we're a family instead of a couple of halflings, and then the 2 of us.
I'm just wondering if we should go for outfits that are a bit more understated.
I'm not sure, Mother. And he just looks over at his mom. Not sure she may have saved anything understated.
I've already put it on. I'm ready to go.
What's the worst that could happen?
How come Vale never has to wear a costume?
Perhaps someone will take you and put you to work on a boat.
There actually are boats that leave Uthodurn. Yes, perhaps that's the next step in our journey. We'll become sailors. Make our way on the open seas.
Best way to hide in a crowded area is to make people think you're something you're not.
Exactly.
So
Great. So I'll pretend to be happy. Let's go.
buckle up, sailor.
Oh boy. Mother, Father, thank you. If we don't come back, it's because we've set sail on our next leg of our adventure. We'll send word with Carrick. Thank you for everything.
Your mother will give you a big hug, and she'll actually hug each of you, and she's just gonna say, "Phil, it was very nice to see you. This is very, very strange, but I wish you the best of luck, and please stay safe."
Bale just nods, especially at the very strange point in the conversation. He hugs her back tightly. Says, "I will do everything I can to stay safe."
Can I
Just do
have
the
a
best that I
pickle to
can."
go?
Bale just smiles and gives his mother a kiss on the cheek.
I mean, she'll give you one if you actually want one.
Oh, I was asking for a pickle to go.
Yeah, she'll take one and hand it to you.
Thank you.
And she just kind of looks at Melly and she's like, are they okay?
Uh, I'm gonna go with yes.
Mm.
But if not right this second, they will be.
She kind of gives you like a confused nod and grabs your hand and kind of just gives you a little squeeze and says, "It was lovely meeting you, dear."
It was lovely to meet you as well. Thank you so much for opening your home to us. I know it was not exactly requested ahead of time, but it's still truly appreciated.
Anytime. And as she's like kind of talking to you, she kind of looks over and makes eye contact with Vale, and then looks back and picks up her tea, takes a sip, and Perrin sitting in his chair, the book kind of puts the book, like lowers the book. Here, we'll use the DM screen. Kind of like he's got the book, kind of lowers it a little bit, and just kind of give you a nod. Don't go getting yourself killed. Stay safe. Your mother would be a wreck if anything happened to you.
Vale walks over to him and just extends his hand to shake. Says, I promise.
Before he shakes your hand, he'll stand up, book down, look you in the eyes, give you a friend handshake. While he's still holding your hand, he's gonna say, whenever you finish this endeavor, I know that the glass plates will take you back. As foolish as you can be, you're very skilled. You could always stay with us if you need to. We want what's best for you. We want you to be respectable.
Believe me, I'm always trying my best, Father. Sometimes things just don't work out quite the way we think. It just kind of has like a little bit of a sad smile and a nod.
Kind of finishes the handshake. Says, well, stay safe.
Thank you. You
Nice.
too.
Then he sits back down and picks up his book.
All right. Shall we get going?
I just kind of nod. And on a side note, as much as I was laughing about this whole situation with Mac, he is actually fully immersed and just like going with it. There's no humor on his side about it. Like he's just
Like he's
in it.
taking his role a little more
It's-
seriously than.
He's a method
Yes.
actor.
Exactly. He's just
Oh, boy.
chomping away on the pickle right now.
Yes, well, all right. Come on, children. That's away.
Yes, Papa.
Are we going to the temple, Father?
Yes, we wish to go to the temple. Yes. Okay. Anyways, he just kind of like shoos everybody out the door. Josh in the DM chair with the glasses down is everything.
Oh man, that killed me.
So yeah, I mean, I think we're just kind of walking at a regular pace to the temple, unless I'm missing something from the rest of us.
No, I mean, Mac is kind of like bouncing up and down, like with his steps and whatnot. Just.
Melly's gonna hold both Echo and Mac's hands.
This is the worst.
Vale goes on the other
This is the
side of
worst day of
Echo.
Echo's life. This is the worst day of Echo's life, and he almost drowned.
Vale goes on the other side of Echo and says, "Would you like to play 1, 2, 3 Wii?"
I think he just the exasperated sigh, just and then just points over toward where the temple is and just says, "It's that way." It's just
He just pats him on the back. "All right, son, it's okay."
Oh man. So you're heading to the temple.
Yes.
All right.
Trying to take note of any other tonal changes in the city. Not expecting any, but just
It's busier now. There are people, shuffling back and forth, pushing wheelbarrows of things. Just there's. It's very busy. Everyone is working. Everyone has a purpose, and kind of like New York. You ever go to the city and when there's no tourists and everybody's just kind of they know where they need to go and they're gonna get there, and you better not get in their way, otherwise I'm walking here. Like that's
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Perfect. Yeah, I think we just go there, and I think it's safe to say, unless otherwise, that Vale has the other sending stone now. Do you think that would make sense? Unless Echo. Yeah. Okay.
I would love a montage of baby Echo and baby Mac with their parents walking through the shopping district, and like Echo is like just like pissed off the whole time, but Mac is like the excited kid and he's like pointing to the storefronts, and
Yes.
like you see him
That
like
the pinto bean guy?
he's
I've heard he's got the biggest pinto beans ever.
Oh boy.
he's now, instead of the sailor shirt, he's wearing a t-shirt that said like "I saw the big bean," like something like that.
I heart Uthadern.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, he made you stop and get roasted nuts on the side from a streetcar.
Yep.
Anyway, somebody do that.
Would love that.
We know any animators? Somebody's just do it. Just art
It's a
that for us.
montage.
Art it.
So some time passes as you walk through and make it to your destination. When you get to the temple, there's like 6 monks standing outside, all with like they're all standing outside like with machetes, just kind of like chopping away at this pinto bean, like cutting in pieces. And there's like there's one guy who's just going back and forth with a wheelbarrow, like trying to get it around. And
8 feet of bean.
but you have arrived.
All right.
All right. Well, this is it. It feels weird to be here without some sort of proper vestments.
I think yeah, that's a tricky thing. I don't think Echo feels super good about walking in there disguised as a child. But if it's the same woman there, Yeah, I think he's gonna look for a place that he can at least maybe, you know what? He has his like proper vestments, the ones that he lent to um Mac a while back. And he should be able to at least just throw that, like it's basically just a robe. He could probably throw that over the clothes that he's wearing. So I think he would look.
Ask, how uncommon would it be for like a kid to like go to the temple to like learn? Like they might do like enrichment classes for kids in the town, so it might make sense for, you know, a kid to be wearing something a little bit fancier if he attends their school.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be that uncommon.
Yeah, no, I think it's less about, like, I don't think he's worried about Mac walking in there dressed up as a child, but I think he feels like from his, like, how it is that he would serve in the temple, like what it is that he does. I think he just feels like kind of yucky about it. So I think he would make a point to see if there's even just like a pillar to hide behind for a second, just to like throw his vestments on over.
Pillar to hide behind. There's a bean to hide behind. There's.
Melly digs through her purse, pulls out a towel, does that mom thing.
Oh gosh.
I was thinking
yeah,
it.
so he'll throw his robe on, and afterwards walk over to the door, start to open it, and then kind of look back toward everybody else and, you know, gesture like, yeah, let's go. He'll open up the door, and does it look about the same as it did before?
Yeah, looks exactly the same as it did before. This time, same woman is actually standing like kind of right by the door. Like you walk in and you're just kind of like, oh, because she's right there, you know. And this time she notices you, and she'll just say, "Welcome,
Sister Norwella. Reason above all.
reason above all. I did not expect you to return so soon, Echo. Is everything all right? Are these the friends you mentioned?"
Yes, indeed they are. Do you mind if we enter?
Of course.
I also did not expect we would return so soon. But there was in the excitement of everything, there was a bit of, I had forgotten to mention something. If it is at all possible, is there a healer here? Someone that may be able to assist? One of my compatriots has become ill.
Unfortunately, ours is not a healing religion. Of course, we study diseases and things of the sort, but Pelo would be who you are looking for.
Well, information may be just as helpful here. Would it be possible to look through some of the archives, or perhaps speak to the archivist?
Of course, I can help you. I can help you look through. But what is it that you need? And Echo, are you all right? You seem different.
Yes, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I feel a bit foolish for having forgotten about this particular issue, that's all.
Of course. So, what is it that you hope to find from the archives?
I think at this point, Echo would look at Vale. in a kind of, I don't know if this is if I can count this as an expression, but I think you would understand what I mean by like, because I think Vale would pick up on this as well. Sort of like, what can or should we say? Like, like, I don't know. That's probably too much to give in an expression.
It looks at you like a confused baby.
Like a confused, baby-faced small man, a 28-year-old man.
They'll just kind of cocks his head to the side for a moment and just goes, puts his hand up to his own temple as he looks back at you.
He he like kind of mimes smacking his head without actually doing it. His own head, like right. And then says to Norwella, how best to explain? And then his eyes go purple, and he connects to Vale, and he says,
How much should I tell her?
Vale just thinks his reply back and says, if you trust her, so do I. And I'd rather take care of Melly than hide a secret.
Understood.
Sister Norwella, I believe this may be some sort of magical illness. Our compatriot here, touched something that may have been cursed or something more powerful than may have been expected. And it seems that she receives immense pain and was even thrown across a room after touching it. Have you heard of anything like this?
Right. That is a very interesting case. What sort of object did you touch?
That may require a rather long story.
Well, shall I pull up a chair? Or 5?
Yes. I suppose so. Perhaps we can find a place a little more well, it is pretty quiet in here. Yes, let's talk.
I think
Sure.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Before you like kind of begin, she'll say, "Here, we can speak in the study. Follow me." And she kind of continues on like towards the right, and she's walking like she's not holding the wall for help or anything like that. She just kind of walks, hands on top of each other in front, stops at the door, opens it, and you walk in, and it's a small room with kind of like a couch and a desk and a chair, and the walls are lined with bookshelves, all filled with books. She'll say, "Please take a seat. This is as safe a place as any."
Thank you, sister.
You're welcome.
I'll just
I-
eyes some of the titles of the books as he's going to sit down, if he can. Not that he'd have to look to give me a title, but like anything that might be interesting about Malaesmere or something related to the topic.
Yeah, I mean, you have like complete history of the corruption. You have hold on.
Okay.
Explorer's Guide to the Empire. Distant Lands of Exandria.
Is there a copy of A Fancy Lad's Guide to Wildmount? The fashion
There-
book that we discussed previously.
There
like
is
20 episodes ago.
There is a copy of A Fancy Lad's Guide to Wildmount.
yes.
Oh man.
So definitely
And
some stuff.
yeah. And okay, that's fine. I'm gonna think of a name, and you'll see that one later. But by all means.
All right. So I guess we all. Does everybody sit down?
Yes, but in true kid fashion, I'm fidgeting a lot.
He's still committed.
Yeah.
I respect it.
I mean, I don't know if she knows I'm not a kid, but I'm not telling her otherwise.
All right. Yeah, I think once everybody settles in, Echo will just.
Well, I'll be direct. We were exploring the ruins of Malaesmere, trying to gather more information about exactly what it is that happened there. While I can't say we were entirely successful, we found something of what appeared to be incredible power, and something that I personally believe may be connected to whatever it was that destroyed Malaesmere. And my compatriot here touched that item. As I recall, a very small glass vial with a swirling purple mist within.
And what happened after you touched it? And she turns and looks at Melly.
It was kind of foggy. There was like a surge, and I apparently flew backwards, and I wasn't feeling very well after. My head was pounding, and yeah, and then 2 other times I was feeling unwell. One of those times I had a similar effect where I was knocked backwards. It was very peculiar.
Well, I couldn't speak to exactly what you've touched. But I have heard cases of contact with very, very powerful magic objects causing similar symptoms in creatures who were not handling it properly. Almost as if the magic itself caused a power to run through your body, similar to an electric shock. But it would have residual effects and not just the initial shock. You could feel it for days or even a week or two after contact with the object. As I said before, I am no healer, but I have been studying, well, everything for quite some time. And I think that you should be in the clear. You may experience some more of these symptoms again, but I don't think you're in any serious harm. Unless, of course, you had one of those symptoms and it threw you into something dangerous, but from the magic itself, I think you will be okay. It is hard to say without knowing exactly the nature of this magic.
You know, that sounds probably like exactly what it was. And we really appreciate you sitting down and speaking with us about it. I feel kind of silly because, obviously it's not that big of a deal. If you've seen it before, so, I'll be extra careful to not stand, in front of a cliff or, some sharp objects. But it's good to know that this will resolve quickly. And, again, we really appreciate you speaking with us about it.
Of course.
Vale shoots Melly a look a little bit, not like it's not sharp, but just like almost like if she can be disappointed in him, he can be disappointed in her a little bit back.
Yeah, she's actually gonna roll an insight on that.
Mac's little leg kicks slow down just a little bit as she's talking.
Yeah, but that's an 18 on insight. I don't know. Well, I guess question before she does that. Are you telling the truth? Do you actually feel like okay about everything and or whatever, or is there more to it than that? And if there's more to it than that, what do you think she would pick up from an 18?
Well, so like Melly's just a little uncomfortable, like in this situation, and she's still like uncomfortable with like the whole concept. She does, because she does like think like, okay, this woman probably has heard a lot of stories like this, but it's a very specific, magical thing that they found. Can I roll a deception check to see if
Sure.
All right. I'll just pull up my thing. There it is. Okay. All right. Oh, 18 plus 5.
Okay.
She's got no idea.
Very nice.
That was the new die.
Nice.
Oh, awesome. Fancy.
So-
How the heck did we forget? All right, we'll get to that towards the end. Never mind.
So, like I said, Vale kind of just shoots a disapproving look in her direction. It just says, well, would there be anyone else you might suggest we talk to should further issues arise? Or perhaps someone you think might know more?
Well, you could always see a true healer, servant of the Dawn Father.
Yes, of course.
They may be able to take a look and restore her back to health if need be. But would be wise to treat this artifact with more caution and try to learn as much you can about it.
Do you know any handling tips for the future? Should that come necessary?
Well, you know not to touch it now. Not unless you're prepared for a magical surge.
Yes,
of
we got that
level.
far on our own. He smiles.
How have you been handling it previously?
I'll just cast Mage Hand and just floats it in front of her.
I would say this is a very strong choice for how you should continue to handle this in the future until you learn more about it. Is this here now?
It's safe. It's not on this plane of existence.
Is it the astral plane?
Could be. He just smiles mischievously.
She just smiles back, and that's kind of it. You know,
Mhm.
if you're not giving her anything, she's
They'll just at that point breaks eye contact with her and just looks at Echo and looks at Melly like,
Yeah, Echo returns Vale's look, but with like a little bit of like, just like, come on, man. I just like, I can't believe you dropped that one right there.
I think Josh had to leave again. An issue.
Oh. Can you hear us, Joshua?
I can hear you.
Welcome back.
Can you see us, Joshua?
I can.
This is wonderful news.
I'll be back in a moment. There he is.
There we are. Hello.
Figured that out.
I think we're good to go.
Yes.
Wonderful. Yeah, I think that Echo would return the look that Vale kind of gives with a little bit of a disappointed like. But
Vale actually
At the
looks
same-
back at you confused.
Yeah, Echo doesn't really take it any further than that at the moment. But then we'll turn to Sister Norwella. She's still with us, right? She hasn't gone anywhere.
Yes.
Okay.
She's still sitting with you.
Well, in any case, Sister Norwella, you had mentioned that there may be a place for me and my compatriots to hold up while we're in town. Is this a possibility?
Yes, of course. You may stay here as long as you need.
You have our thanks. Perhaps we can see where that might be and take a load off, as it were?
Of course. And she'll kind of walk you out of the room and then back down a little bit, down some stairs into like kind of a cellar like area. It's like a storage room type thing. And she'll just say, unfortunately, this is the best we can do for now. I can get you some padding to sleep on, and blankets, of course. But all of our other lodging is being used currently.
Of course. You offer us what you're able to, and that is more than appreciated.
Reason above all.
Mentor's knowing eye.
She nods her head and just turns around, walks up the stairs, and kind of leaves you.
Remind me again why we came here?
We came here... I know we came here to help Melly. But I also know we need to be careful about letting anyone know that we have this thing.
She doesn't know what it is. She knows we have a something.
She's not stupid, Vale.
I never would ever try to imply otherwise.
All I'm trying to say is she knows it's something incredibly powerful that we found in Malesmere. And I even described it visually. I just...
I would have taken it out
She
and
was-
shown her right now if it would mean helping Melly. She's of your order. I trust you. You had a good feeling about her. If we can't get any help with this thing, what are we doing here? Because a long-term solution is not carrying it around on some sack on our back. I understand
course.
that this is something that's very dangerous. I understand that we have to be careful with the choices we make.
And with her proximity to Malesmere, she may have actually had some either information or possibly some research, or maybe knew somebody who did research.
I mean, what's your plan when we get to Byseus to you? Not to
The
tell
difference
your
between-
master? He just kind of like puffs a little bit as he just like touches the bridge of his nose and looks in the corner, like,
Excuse me, Valen Thinius.
what is it? Just turns and looks
Look.
back at you.
I trust my order. I know what my order should believe in. But I also know better than to think that everyone within every religion and organization, not everyone follows it to the T. That's my only concern. I know that her ideal, first and foremost, is to gather and archive and share knowledge. And that is why I tried to approach things with a certain lens. And I apologize for getting short. And of course my goal is to help Melly. But if, let's say, this person is not exactly who she presents herself to be, and she tells the wrong person, and that wrong person tells the wrong person, and then we're all arrested or worse. That's all.
I understand. You should never blame yourself for being short. Can't help that.
Very funny.
Sometimes I make jokes when I'm uncomfortable. just looks at Melly. Why are you so evasive in there?
Melly hasn't made eye contact with anyone this whole time. I just, we know so little, and the people that we are going to entrust with this information, I feel like it should be people we know. People we know we can trust. I do think she's probably onto something when she says that it'll wear off. But is it worth risking the wrong person finding out? This could be the fate of many more people if it gets into the wrong hands, and if it could end with just me, that would probably be ideal.
Still not looking at anybody?
Echo kind of stands straight up as she says that last thing and looks genuinely hurt by that statement.
Belle
It's
just
not
is
going
looking
to
at her.
happen.
Yeah.
It's just so little we know. And so few people we can trust.
As noble as the sentiment is, and as much as I understand the feeling behind it, there is all of us. And we're not going to just abandon or let you die because it's easy or easier.
We don't abandon anyone in this group. I think we've established that one already. Ellie. Ellie.
Yes? She'll look at you now.
Come on. You know that. If I or we made you uncomfortable there, I apologize, but perhaps I should have read the signal a little better. I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize. I understand, and I don't mean to be foolish. And I do trust all of you, which means I should trust your judgment as well. It's just very unfamiliar to be in this place and not be able to leave, and this was something that none of us could have predicted would have happened. And there's just a lot of unknowns. And I feel like we should go to someone who there's less unknown about.
To your point, Vale, that's exactly why I want to go to Baise Estiel. Because I know my religion, and I know this woman follows it. But I know Master Dinawa. This is a wise, trustworthy person. And believe it or not, if there's someone that I would trust telling that we have the end of the world in our pocket, he would be the one.
All right, I just got worked up there for a moment.
DM, I have a question.
Sure.
How long has it been since the very first, instant? Has it only been a few days, or?
I think it's probably been about a week, something like that. Because that was the first day that you were there.
Was
You
it
spent a couple
Owens?
days there.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah, and then a couple days to
Yeah.
town.
that's about right.
Plus, obviously, the night you spent in Uthadern.
And the information that we got from the sister was helpful. It's not something that's completely unheard of. I know because of what it is, it might be different, but it only happened a handful of times. So, if another week goes by and then there's nothing, then maybe it was just some sort of residual powerful effect from very strong magic. Not to say that we don't need to investigate it further, but we did get some information.
That's true. I just am not satisfied that it was enough.
I don't know if she could have given us any more information, unless we put the nuke in the palm of her hand.
Well, clearly that's not a good idea. Echo, do you think they would be alright if I read some of those books? You said we could, right?
I don't see it being an issue. But if you like, I can come with you and just confirm that that would be all right.
If you want to, that's fine. Otherwise, I'm fine to go on my own.
It would be a bit suspicious if they were unwilling to share knowledge with you. I think you'll be just fine.
Right. Yes, I'm just going to go see if I can do that.
Before you head out, you actually notice that sitting on a table there actually is a book in the room that you guys are in.
What book would that be?
It's called The Halfling, or Elsewhere and Mac Again.
Oh boy.
Anyway, still
That was
before
actually
you
my favorite story growing up. I've probably read that book 300 times.
Al just walks out the door.
I heard they
Before
were
you
going to
walk
make
out.
it into a play
Okay.
in 3 parts. Can you believe it? For a 300-page book.
Great.
So before you walk out, there's a as your stone.
Okay. Takes the stone out of his.
We're trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
Oh my gosh. Uh,
And so you hear Carrick's voice through the stone. and it says, "Hello, Valenthinius. Where are you? We need to speak now."
Okay, so I kind of envision Vale being on just the opposite side of the room of the door. And he gets like a step or two away from the door and he just stops. This is just a quick question because I feel like Vale obviously would know his home. Is there maybe a place that the two of them used to hang out or like do some kind of play some kind of athletic game or anything like that?
There's like there's a large tree in the town, and it's kind of like a crazy thing because obviously you're in an underground city.
Yeah.
But there's just this one large tree there. It took a lot of work to put it there, a lot of magic, and it was it was something that was representative of like the elves coming to the city. You and your brother used to climb the tree, used to play around it. You were not allowed to climb the tree because it's kind of like a big important thing. But you used to climb it, play around it, sit under it.
Okay.
All things of the sorts.
Does it have a name or a name we used to call it? Actually, no, I got it. Do I respond telepathically or do I speak it out? I'm curious about how sending stones work, but
Let's
either way,
read sending.
I think it's just in your mind.
25 of the future hears its message in the mind. You could answer in a like manner immediately. So I would say like manner would be in your mind. So
Okay. All right. Vale replies, "We're at the Temple of Iyun. Let's meet at our tree. And we'll head there straight away." You cannot reply to this message. And then he,
okay. All right. So message has been sent, and we'll pick up from there next week.
boy.
So everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. If you have any questions, throw them in chat. If you saw Melt333 in chat, he's awesome. He's one of our good friends that we met doing this crazy project that we do. And some of the maps that we've used for this and maps that we're going to use in future endeavors, we'll say, he did, and they're just incredible. So I put his link in chat earlier. I'm gonna drop it in chat
Yeah, he's amazing.
yet again because he's just really good, and he charges very, very, very fair prices. Honestly, like prices that are fair to you and unfair to him because they're so inexpensive. So check him out. Aside from that, hope you guys all had a great night. And is there something we forgot in the intro today, Jake? There's something I forgot, and I realized like halfway through.
I don't know this.
Well, today's 7-Eleven.
What?
Which is 7-Eleven day, free Slurpee day. I missed out. I forgot about it until right now. I didn't go. But a few days ago, it was Izzy's birthday.
Yeah, it was.
So everybody, wish a very happy birthday to our good friend Izzee and our favorite sorcerer healer and all
Thank
of the
you, guys.
multiverses.
Thank you.
Hope you had a
very
great day,
much.
my friend.
It was. made very special by all of my friends.
Excellent. All right, so if you enjoyed yourself here, you catch up on past episodes on Spotify. So just type in Rare Drop Roleplay in Spotify or wherever you enjoy podcasts. It should be there. And if you like us, check out youtube.com/J&J Tabletop or twitch.tv/J&J Tabletop because we do stuff there and have all sorts of fun. And you could also find all the things by using command J&J in chat, which Jacob Tabletop just did. So we hope to see you soon. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week. Have a great day, everyone.